Yo, hello everyone and welcome back to another modding live stream. Today my people, I will add some useless stuff again. And I've looked through the file of all files, which is the notes about this mod and the chronological next thing. I don't even know, because we've skipped quite a few things. I have to admit that. But I've continued reading a bit. That's why I'm streaming a little late today. But there's basically an option now. Or multiple options I can choose from. There is either break my mind with trying to add cloaks, which are basically capes, but I don't even know how I would do that if there's already capes in game. So that is going to be quite difficult. I mean, difficult probably not, but it would take a lot of time to get right. I do not want to invest in something so unimportant that takes such a long time so early into the mod, because there is much bigger things that are going to be crazily difficult to add. Because I did continue reading, and in the few books there is currently, like in 2/3 into book 3 or so of there's currently like 6, I think, but I've only ever read like 5 of them. I think I've read 5, but there's 6. I think there's 6 already out, and there's a 7th one already announced or something like that. And then there's also like 2 spin-off books, like a spin-off series of 2 books or 3 books, I think 2 books, which I could also add or make a secondary mod that needs the other mod to work. Something like that. So this what I read is, there was just a short mention, not even any explanations, just a short mention of a 5x5 crafting table, which I do know is being found later, either in book 4 or 5. Because book 4 is, I think, the book... Yeah, I think it was in book 4. So sooner or later I will have to try and add a 5x5 crafting table. But one crafting table that is mentioned in book 3 that isn't ever mentioned later in the 4th and 5th book, and might return in the 6th one, is the 7x7 3D crafting table, which is technically a 7x7x7 crafting table, which I have no idea how you would even make a UI for this, or how you would even craft in there. Because imagine you try to craft a sword. How would you do that on a 3-dimensional 7x7x7 plane? That would be absolutely diabolical. And now currently there is a few things that I haven't added yet. There's a boss mob that I haven't added. There's a few enchantments that I haven't added, which also involve more complex, probably math and structures in Java that I do not understand yet. Then there is 2 swords, which I could add relatively simply. However, there's not much known about these. One is an obsidian sword, so we could do the texture and roughly estimate its strength. However, with the addition of with the addition of netherite, which was obviously way after this book came out, there is basically no need to add an obsidian sword, at least not one that is... It wouldn't make sense to add one that is stronger than the aforementioned obsidian. So I am not sure about adding that. Why is my table not square to the wall? That is not okay. I do not like that. Ah, sheesh. And it is really off by quite a lot. 2 fingers. 2 fingers. So now it's square. Good. However, now I can barely close my PC. There we go. The drawer, the cabinet to my PC. Yes, my PC is in a cabinet. However, I barely use it. I use it to develop my current other coding project, which is a bit more advanced, but it runs on Python. Doesn't have to do anything with Minecraft yet. However, I might want to add that at some point. Who knows? Also, I should, like, I don't know, this is like gross looking braided cable so far. However, it is a really rare one because it says leader on the plug. And I want anyone to find me a cable that Rocket Leader is written on. You won't find one. Probably. Wonder if there's even replacement mouse glides for this anymore. It's been like 8 years, 9 years when since this came out. It's crazy. Anyways, let's finally start IntelliJ. Also, new ChatGPT update now features IntelliJ coding things, and also for VS Code and all that other stuff. So yeah, that is interesting because IntelliJ does have an integrated AI up here, the JetBrains AI up here. However, it costs. Anyways, so we've added quite a few. Quite a few of those things here, which is a lot of... Why does it feel like I have input lag? Oh, good heavens. Well, it's all pretty usual. IntelliJ takes 1.5 gigabytes of RAM to run in this state, which is absolutely diabolical, and I wonder what my other project in Python uses. Anyways, let's see. We need... I wonder what there is to add. Because I did continue reading and I found something else that I could add where I could relatively easily make work, basically. And that is, I've just read, it is literally on the page I am in the book now, so that's why I started streaming like a few minutes late. And it is the ominous sugar block. It was never mentioned as being actually existent. However, a character in the book is called a sugar block by the cashier of a clothing store. It is basically like calling someone sugar in real life. However, she did call her sugar block deliberately, so that makes me think the existence of a sugar block is thus given because sugar also exists, so she definitely did not have to use sugar block as a substitute for sugar because it doesn't exist. And you wouldn't call someone sugar block in real life because sugar blocks do not exist in real life. At least not in the way they would in Minecraft. That means we need to add the first block. And it is very interesting because what I thought about in these 3 minutes or so that I set up the stream was that a sugar block is probably going to look like sand, but white, and is also a gravity block like sand. That will not naturally spawn, that can be crafted from probably 9 sugar in a standard 3x3 crafting grid. And that is it. That's probably all I'm going to do. That's literally it. So, I need to open YouTube again and find Blood Kaupenjo to search for the tutorial. Also, I did find out something. And that is that there is no sound source for the Minecraft client from in here. So every time I was talking about sounds, I never actually showed a sound in game. So that is a very suboptimal thing, I have to admit. Also, I think I still have to edit my microphone settings because I think it still sounds like I'm talking through my freaking nose. I'll probably have to download a more advanced VST not a synthesizer. An EQ, exactly, that was the word I was looking for. I need to use that. So now we will try the game in full screen because that way I can switch to the ominous main. And it should record that. Or maybe it does not. Okay, that is interesting actually. Huh. I quickly try it this way, maybe that works. Alright, so this cannot... Okay, that is very interesting. It cannot capture this. So I'll quickly need to add an audio source. Just... like, not very temporary audio source, but like... game audio source or something. An application audio capture. No, wait, what? Is there game audio captures? Application audio capture now exists in OBS itself. That is very interesting because earlier you have to use a plugin for this. Okay, and we're going to use exactly this. Now, in my current audio folder, yo, nameless. I have all these. I'll just move them into the audio folder. I don't think it actually is the same audio folder as we have here. It in fact is. So I'll not be putting this into the audio folder, because otherwise it will be in both scenes. So it is just going to be here. Okay, so now IntelliJ Minecraft should have an audio capture, right? I am doing very well. How are you doing? Is it this? No, it's not that either. That is really weird. I cannot get audio from this. Do I have to close it? How are you doing, Nimbus? How are you doing? Please tell me the audio for this is now working. Oh, perfect. Perfect. That means if I go into my test world, I can finally show how weird everything sounds. It's also going to be really laggy. Like my hand cam has this frames and and the game has this frames. Like it is a bit crazy. That is crazy. You'll have to show me that. Anyways, be prepared for I can actually barely hear anything myself. Oh shit, that is pretty loud. Let's go like this. If I like... Holy crap, that is still really loud. Music and the sounds. We'll go like 30%. Okay, okay, that works. Damn. That is crazy. Didn't know... But it wasn't an alpha. Because I didn't know other cars use their engines. Kind of crazy. Or, well, no, I know there are. No, I'm lying. I'm lying. Why is he lying? I am lying. There are others, but I don't know which cars. Crazy, crazy. Anyways, listen to this. Wait. Sounds pretty crazy, I have to admit. Oh, the stream is still running. There's no way. What the hell is this car? Oh, it's the one you have in your Instagram profile picture. I did notice that. It's a... What? Is it a Ferrari, bro? That cannot be a Ferrari. Because of the Ferrari helmet that is in the car. I can't read what's on the steering wheel. Oh, it's just a Momo wheel. Okay. Interesting. It does look really cool. But holy wind tunnel on the top of it. Holy wind tunnel. What just happened? What just happened? Oh. This is so small I can't read it. What just happened? Oh, someone followed. I need to make my GUI bigger. Let's go. No, I would have... That would have been a very weird Ferrari. Also, thank you for the follow. Mysterious following person. And that is a crazy car. Hey, what? What? I can't read. Ah, okay, yeah, no, that... Yeah, no, that makes sense, Looks crazy, honestly. Yes. Alright, so we finally have sound, so that is cool. Now, what I need to add is basically sand, wherever it is. We basically have to add this, because what does sand do? Sand does that. So we're going to add a block that acts like this. The bottle of milk. There is no bottle of milk. There is just the bucket of milk. It is going pretty well. How's everything going yourself? Now, the elite ball knowledge required, but I might have to call Lumpus on this, on the current situation that we're going to be in a few seconds to a few minutes. Thank you very much, but also holy glaze, because the stream is pretty damn mid. I have to say, even for my standards. Now you might be wondering, why am I streaming mid if I know it's mid? Well, because the Moss has never... because the Moss is the server owner of our newest server, and if he himself doesn't even play on it, who am I to make content on there? So that's why I'm modding. Quick lore drop on why this mod even gets developed. Lol. Did I want to show anything else that I've added? Oh yeah, I wanted to edit the ice creams too. peak stream, there was already a peak stream. It was really bad because peak is laggy as hell, and a lot of other games are too, and I do not know why. But it must be some sort of a bug glitch, some sort of a mistake that is happening on this system that didn't happen on my old laptop. Because for some weird, unimaginable reason, even Minecraft partially ran better on my old laptop than on my new one. And it is an increase in performance that is almost day and night. So I do not quite get why this is happening. And it is mainly when I have OBS open, but sometimes it's just weird bugs. In Raft, when I play in full screen or in full screen but windowed, like exclusive full screen or windowed full screen, I have a significant difference in frames. Or when I lower the resolution just by a tiny bit, I get like an increase of like 10 times in frame rates, which is unimaginably much higher for going to the next highest right screen aspect ratio of resolution, which makes no sense. So I go from 4K to QHD, or yeah, no, it's QHD, I think, 1440p, and it just, I will go from 20 frames per second to like 200. Makes no sense. Right, Nameless, we have to call Lumpus because exactly what I expected happened. Thank you very much for the offer, but I get an offer like this in like, I don't know. It's not been that many recently, I have to admit. But in my prime time when I streamed quite a bit more and quite a bit more interesting stuff, aka on the Jellyfish SMP, which was the prime time for graphics artists and designers to spawn in my streams, I got up to 2 per stream or 3 per stream, and I streamed multiple times a week. So thank you, but no thank you. I will not buy. I'm a self-taught graphics artist too. If I needed graphics, I'd have graphics. And I do need graphics, but I'm too lazy to make them. But I don't have money to spend on internet stuff. So that I'm also not going to do. Yeah, honestly though, Nameless, I have lost more subscribers than I've gained subscribers, so I'm currently at a loss of subscribers. And do you know when my peak subscriber count was? It was in December 2024. Or 23. I don't know, 24 I think. No, 23. No, it was like... No, it was 23. Holy god damn it. Also, I almost forgot that I have to upload a my 5-year anniversary video by the end of next week. And it's not even by the end of next week, it's like by Friday. No, by Thursday. Oh shit. I will not say if I've started or not, but I've definitely not started. Also, no, I do not need a portfolio. Thank you very much. Nameless. I haven't heard that name in ages. Back when you were still called, Oh, you had a different name. You had a different name, but I forgot. That was ages ago. 22 probably. 22 or 23, like before my peak. You started watching me before my peak. However, I do not know what happened, or that my peak is absolutely diabolically cooked. Like, that peak was a very short-lived thing. I gained subscribers pretty quickly, and when I hit 1,000, I just flatlined, which is weird. No, when I hit like 1,038. And I've never even touched 1,040. It's never been over 1,038. It has been there multiple times, but currently I'm down to 1,022, which is the lowest it's been in the last 2 years or so, which is absolutely diabolical. So I should start uploading like a ton of shorts, which there's about 5 I could make right now if I wanted to. However, I for some reason do not. It's just I have so many more priorities than uploading videos on this, like uploading shorts on this channel. That is absolutely diabolical. I should make... No, you actually did have a real name. Like I will try not to drop below 1,000. No, obviously not. But I just find it weird. What I find even weirder is, you know, I'm at 1,022 right now. YouTube shows it as 1,020. So what viewers or stats viewers like Social Blade see is basically I go from 1,030 to 20 to 30 to 20, and it just is like that back and forth between December 23 or 24, I don't remember. It just is back and forth. So according to them, I just lose 10 viewers, 10 subs every few months, and then gain them every few months, and then lose them soon after again. But what I think is happening is that YouTube is just deleting accounts that are either have been deleted or that are inactive for a certain amount of time, because I mean, this channel exists for 5 years now. In a few days it's 5 years, and I think Google very much thinks, or has, in my opinion, very much has the right to think that you're an inactive user if you haven't done anything in a few years. So it probably just basically ghost subscribes them. Maybe they're still subscribed for them, but not for me. So if they use YouTube again, they might basically get resubscribed on my account. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just not going to worry about it, but I am going to have to upload more videos to compensate this. Now, I get more average subscribers probably from shorts than from videos, but they also unsubscribe much faster, so they're less how is it called, they're not very economic for me, because they always unsub again. Yeah, you have been, which is actually really crazy. It is really crazy. So yeah, I'm just going to have to upload shorts. I still have a few clips, some very random clips, some clips that require context that was already gone before they were even before I even made them, obviously, because they're from streams, and you know, it's funny if you see the stream and then watch the short like a few days after, which is what I've done when I was in my peak streaming phase, which is when I streamed on WTG Craft every week and got like a short or two out of every stream. Made shorts, dropped them every few days, and basically I had content through the entire week, because I streamed on Saturday, made a short on like Monday and one on Wednesday, and then streamed on Sunday again. Or I streamed on Tuesdays or Thursdays when I had sponsors, and I could get a sponsor like every day, basically. but I do not. Because I'm too lazy to play online or ad games type of games. Oh, you're still here. Sorry, I kind of got carried away. But as I already said, I'm not interested in any graphics or overlays or whatever it is you do. So I will not give you my Discord username. So yeah. But I'm obviously not complaining if you want to continue watching my stream, because it is oh so peak. Anyways, what did I want to do? I wanted to make a custom... I need to make a custom class file for a custom ice cream item. Now I need this to work with the custom drink because it is different, so I need to make the custom ice cream item. This is just a small thing that I need to add. So we need super extends, and then we need the items stick, and that is everything. Stick, and stick. I could just use rename usages, but lazy. And to make this look clean, so we're having a custom ice cream item that just extends your return. So in the mods items, I need to have the watermelon, the creeper ice creams new. So these are all new custom no, what the hell, these are all new custom ice cream items, as well as this, as well as this, and this. Good. So if you eat an ice cream in survival, you will get your stick back, because it just makes sense. Of course it makes sense. Just that good. Good. Now what we have to add is a block. I've never added a block. Get Lumpus to do his job. I low-key forgot to download Twitch. You do not have... No, I mean, I can just... honestly, I'm not complaining about viewers. I mean, I'm currently having 4 Twitch viewers, which is more than I've had this month ever. Well, it is the 7th of this month, thus it is the 2nd stream this month. But, no, it is the 1st stream this month. The second one, the first one was the last day of the last month. Anyways, it is more viewers than I've had probably ever. It's like a top 3 viewers this year, I would say, that I've had on Twitch. Top 3 viewers. Negative, Lauren, negative. Oh my god, it is the OG Evelina HD. Hello and good evening. I don't think she's ever been in a modding stream when I was actually modding something. And neither was Nameless was in a few, but you've both barely seen anything. Obviously, I tell stories about how long I take to add 16 colored eggs to Minecraft. However, we now have 16 different colored eggs. So that is cool. But I want to show what the actual mod currently has. I'm going to make this a little more quiet, because I do think it might be a little loud. So it is currently night, so we're going to do this real quick. So anyways, this is what I added last, the watermelon drink. It weirdly enough still has the burp of the honey ball, which is a weird thing that I do not know why it exists and why it's not disappearing, but it's cool. So this is the slime pie. It can be eaten. Then what I've added to was all these foods here. Now basically there is ice creams that can all be eaten. Yes, indeed. I could add a mechanic technically. That would be really funny if I knew how to do this. If you eat too many ice creams after each other, you will get brain freeze, which I could basically just use the freezing thing. Or I could just give you the effect for a few seconds when you eat an ice cream. But I don't know yet. Also, I'll have to edit the textures for at least the first 2 ice creams that I've added. The last one has a pretty good texture because it is uncolored. It is literally just snow and diamonds. So that is its color scheme. However, the others are a bit... they're a bit textureless. The magma cream ripple, okay, that works. It just has a really smooth texture. But the Ghostia swirl is a bit too flat, and the creeper crunch doesn't even look close to a cactus, but it's not even supposed to be a cactus. Anyway, then we also have obviously the potion. Now this potion is really cool, this one potion that there's no splashes and no other things of, that makes you go this high up in the air, which may or may not be a bit extreme. I still don't know if this is too much, because the book does mention that blood jumped quite high, but I think this might be too overpowered. Then of course we have the cologne potions, which are, for example, this here, which just gives you luck. Then we have all the colored eggs. We have like spider legs, the gravel sandwich. We have stews and soups. I mean, look at this. We have this one's probably the coolest looking one that we have, the grass stew. The fermented potato, which is a bit too green maybe. I have no idea. So now what we need to add, after the cologne effect has finally worn off, I'm going to actually exit this again and finally look at the Cobb and Joe video. Wherever that I have that, there it is. Minecraft fabric modding tutorials. Eat. And I'm going to find the custom blocks. Now obviously everything on my PC is going to lag because Firefox.
Let's add custom blocks to Minecraft. 121
if I have it in full screen,
down below, with over 11 hours of content,
nobody knows why.
From the basics all the way to
nobody knows.
And custom mobs. Alright, we find ourselves back in IntelliJ once more, and in this tutorial we're going to be adding custom blocks to our project over here. 1.1.
Right, it is crazy.
1.1 actually, but luckily no particular crazy changes have occurred, so we can simply jump in. And what you will find is that the way to add custom blocks is actually pretty similar to the way that we add.
Yeah, no, that might be due to the stream having crashed once. I have the internet interruption things again, where my streams crash multiple times every time I stream. So I've changed back to wired Ethernet, wired internet connection. So it might work. Also, if we talked about Nameless, not Nameless, about Lampus before, are you still here, Nameless? Now we have to probably wait 5 minutes for an answer, because he also has delay, obviously, except if the YouTube stream crashed and restarted, then he will have less delay, potentially. But the YouTube stream delay is probably around 10 to 15 seconds, due to me having added, not me actually, Restream has automatically added a larger stream delay, so YouTube supports closed captions in real time. It just adds closed captions while the stream, during the stream delay, which I would probably not talk in a 15-second long sentence, and if I did, YouTube would cut that into multiple sentences. So that is that. Also, I wonder, I've done the truck simulator stream before military, so that was like a year ago from here. Bit less, probably. Yeah, a bit less than a year ago. Where I mentioned Michael Jackson and his music. I think his music was running in the truck radio. So he was mentioned underneath my YouTube video in the stream description. However, I've never gotten to do this, to get this to happen again, I think. Probably because I never talked about the people that I have mentioned. But I will deliberately and on purpose talk about Michael Jackson multiple times now, and say his name multiple times, so that maybe gets added to this description again. So shout out to my man. I will say his name again at the end of the stream if I don't forget, so maybe YouTube adds him to this description. You know, I'm so humble. I'm supporting small creators. I wonder what happens if you shout out the name of a person that is not like famous, but that is a known person. If it will add that too. Because I've mentioned Basti GHG multiple times. However, his name is a bit difficult to say, so, or to understand by a speech to text, so that's probably the reason he's never gotten mentioned in my description. No, probably not.
First and foremost, in our tutorial mod package, we're going to right click new package called block.
Oh my god. Wait, what is util? He doesn't even have a util folder. Oh, the loot table modifiers. I thought this was under util. I'm just so dumb. So I need to probably do the old split screen again, but for that I will zoom out to my 100%. Where is it shown there? Good. Now nobody's probably going to be able to read anything on my screen, except if you're watching this in source 1080p, which is still only half the resolution I have, but it might just be good enough. Like, a letter probably has the width of like 3 pixels, but it might be readable. No, it probably has more, but it's not going to be very sharp. Not a very sharp image. Anyways, in any case, and thus now I will add a new folder, which we've not added in a while. It's going to be called block. Mi bombo.
And inside there, we'll make a new Java class, which we're going to call the mod blocks class.
Mi Bombo. New Java class.
There we go, and then we will actually see. Now, to properly register blocks, there are a couple of things. The first thing, of course, you will once again need is a public static void. I'm going to call this the register mod blocks method over here, where we will call tutorial mod.logger. Simply tap to autocomplete it. We're going to
no, stop, not so fast. No, not tutorial mod, minus mod. Good.
Info right here. I'm going to say registering mod blocks for.
Okay, so nameless probably already went because he's not answering anymore.
And this is going to be for tutorial. Mod.mod ID.
Good.
In this case, once again, the contents here not strictly necessary, but I do like to add something in there, and then we can go to our tutorial mod class over here in the onInitialize method and say modblocks.register.
Good.
Mod blocks, and there we go. With this, the mod blocks will be properly, well, initialized. And now the question is, what else do we need? Well, to register blocks, you not only need to register the block, you also need to register the item that is associated with it. So for this, we will make two helper methods over here. The first one is going to be a private
interesting
static void register block item method.
Very interesting, very interesting.
Takes in a string name parameter as well as a block, making sure we choose net Minecraft block over here.
Okay.
I want to call that parameter the block. This is going to simply call.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Registry, making sure we choose net Minecraft registry. Very important, if you import Java RMI registry, then you're going to get an error. It has to be the registry from net Minecraft registry. We're going to call the register method on this, passing in registries.item and then an identifier.of. So we're simply going to choose this one. Tap to autocomplete it, passing in tutorial mod.mod_id, and the second parameter is going to be the name. After the first closing parentheses, you can then make a new block item, very important, a block item, and here we pass in the block.
Bro, hold your breath, man.
Parameter and then new item.settings.
I don't know if I've ever done it like this. Under, for example, mod foods. Or mod items. Doesn't really register in multiple lines. So you can do that in two. Let's do it in two lines. Right, so now drop me how to do this.
As always, of course, all of the code is also available down below in the GitHub repository, so you should be good to go there. If you want to, for example, copy over the helper methods here, that is totally fine. The second helper method is going to help us register a block. So there's going to be a private
baited me there.
Static block, in this case called register block over here, with also a string name parameter and a block parameter.
Okay, very interesting. Yo, did nameless tell you? No, of course you felt that. You felt that. Yes. So it's nothing really, just another graphic designer. This time a bit more advanced. More advanced graphic designer. What is going on? Well, I'm coding again. However, you should see. You should see, bro. Should have seen the chat log. No, I mean you should have seen the Twitch chat. I could send that to you. I'm going to send you the Twitch chat log. Not chat log, but I'm going to send you the screenshot of the Twitch chat. Where is bro? There. I sent it to you on Discord. I always say bro though. Poet swam is absolutely crazy. I'm not a poet who swam. I swam poetically. You're on mobile, but what are you referring to with saying you're on mobile? Do you not have Discord on your phone? Because if not, you can just look at it whenever you have time. Basically we had a graphics designer who wanted... Okay, it's basically like this. Blood spawns, follows, then asks me how I'm doing. I ask back, then she literally glazes my stream with how good and amazing it is. She just had to follow. No, don't need it. I got that reference. Then she said it's so amazing she had to follow. Then by the way, she said she does crazy arts stuff for streamers and gamers, literally like this, which is kind of a crazy way to describe your doing graphics. Then I said that we have to get you, which yes, they always have female names, but it might not be a bot. I honestly don't know if these are bots, like really advanced, the AI bots or something, or if these are actual people sitting behind the screen. Crazy stuff. I don't know. I didn't give her my Discord. Usually they just find my Discord because it's obviously really easy. It's literally just my Twitch username. However, then she asked me if she could have my Discord so she could DM me my portfolio, her portfolio. Then I said nah. Then she asked, then she just dropped a question mark like 5 minutes later. And I said nah. And then she dropped, drop your Discord username in my whispers and the red heart, which is absolutely diabolical. As everyone knows, the red heart is the love heart and the blue heart is the friendship heart. So this either bot or unemployed person is really crazy. The situation is going out of hand. I should have actually, you know, actually nameless. Why do I keep saying nameless? You're called Lampos. I'm stupid. You gave me a really good idea. I should just... yeah, sure. I should just ask all these graphics designers if they can draw really outrageous stuff. Like, they can draw me pregnant or something like that. And then, as a reference, I give them my Minecraft skin. And if they do, I'll just not pay anything and see their... No, if they actually do, I would probably pay something, but I don't think anyone would accept. But it would be really funny to see their reaction. It would be honestly funny. However, we should continue on this. I want to add the freaking sugar block.
Pretty interesting. Here, we simply call the register block item method, passing in both the name as well as the block. Very simple in this case.
Yes, yes, very simple. Block item. What? Block item? Oh, it doesn't have an S. Okay, good, great. What? You already did that? Oh yeah, you already... No. Did you? No, you did not. You just edited me into meme. No. Also, cheese edit jump scare. Cheese edit. Cheese edit. You have to do a cheese edit. I am not. It is just the microphone. Well, okay, my nose is a bit clogged. However, the microphone just literally sounds like this every time. And I cannot get it to sound better. I've had to turn down the bass because it sounds like an ASMR, as you said. But when I turned down the bass last time, no, 2 streams ago, 3 streams ago, it sounded like I was speaking through my nose. Maybe if I turn it down a bit more, it might sound better, but I don't know, honestly. I honestly do not know. I don't know how it sounds. It just probably sounds really bad. Which I don't get. Yes, the cheese edit. I know you saw the video I sent you. So there is already similar material on the internet. Obviously there's probably going to be a cheese edit already, but I want the Lumpus cheese edit. Also, Lumpus, I do not know if you've noticed that I've renamed you on the Discord. It was supposed to be a joke, but I do not know if you even saw. We can do that. We can do that in summer. There's one question. There's one thing I'm wondering about. Just an intrusive thought. The Hooters staff girls have a very distinct style of clothing. In winter, is it warm enough? Or do they just freeze their ass off? You call yourself lumps. You call yourself lumps? No, that cannot be true. I've never oh shit. I've never seen you do that or heard you do that, for the matter. Do you really?
And then you will return a registry.register, passing in the registries.block this.
Why is there so much registering to do? Just give me a line where I can put in my blocks. It's registry.register. Registries.block. This is so crazy.
Time, then an identifier .of passing in tutorial mod .mod_id, then the name and after the first closing parenthesis, simply passing in the block, and there we go.
Wow. Igloo Hooters, we should invent that, bro. Your Pokemon trainer name. Do the names in there have any sort of restrictions? I mean, can you just use any word? Or if you're using very bad words, does it block them? Oh god. On Miiverse. That is all very, very interesting. Very interesting. Yes, very. Okay, can I finally add a block?
That's literally all we need to do, and those are our 2 helper methods done. Now, there are plenty of different ways that we can do this, right? We can also
Also, they weren't. Oh, that is
register the blocks
crazy.
sort of inline and then go through all of the blocks and then register the block items like that. I personally don't like doing it like this. I personally like these 2 helper methods, and that's basically all you really need. And now the question is, how can we, well, register our first block? It is going to be more straightforward than you might think. This is a public static final.
B what B?
Block, and we're going to call this
Block, of course.
the pink underscore guard.
No, and I'm going to call it sugar block.
Garnet underscore block, which is going to be equal to the just created register block. Method over here, the name is going to be pink underscore garnet underscore block. And then the second parameter is a new block. In this case, once again, tap to autocomplete it. And here we want to use the abstract block settings.
Okay, very interesting.
.create. So once again, I just put in a dot over here and then do the tab and then press tab to autocomplete them. And then here we can add some block settings. The first one might be the strength. This determines how long it takes to break this block. Let's say a 4F is going to be fine. We can then also call the requires tool method. Very importantly.
Oh, okay, this is interesting. I need to find out what sand has. I'm going to give it 3F.
When it comes to both the requires tool and the blocks that we add right now, they will not drop anything regardless of what you do, because for that we actually need to add loot tables, and that is done in a different tutorial. So keep that in mind, that currently the blocks are not going to drop anything regardless of what you mine them with. So we're going to call the
loot
requires
tables
tool because in this case, right, this pink garnet block is sort of like a gem block, similar to like a diamond block, and I feel
this actually does not require a tool because it is, well, it is sand basically.
like that you will need to have a tool for this and can't just mine it with your hands. I feel like that's fair. And then we could also, for example, say sound over here. And the sound might be the block sound group of, I think, an amethyst block would.
Okay, we're going to add this block sound group. Block sound group dot sand. And that's going to be it.
Be really cool, because in this case it is sort of a gem block, and I feel like that could be kind of nice. Because this is a builder pattern, you can of course call all sorts of other methods here as well. What I highly recommend is you either just play around with them, or you can press shift twice and look at the blocks class, so blocks, and then include non-project items, and that is from net Minecraft block right here, and you can actually see.
Ooh, this is actually good. I will do that. Blocks. Is it this? Blocks or Java? Perfect. Can we have sand, please? Now we have sad sand. Sand in text. Okay. Sand. .5 F. That is crazy. So it also has a color code, which we won't do, but we can do map color, the pale yellow, and the instrument snare technically works too. Yeah, we could do that. We're going to add dot map color and dot instrument note block snare to mod blocks. But we're not going to use pale yellow. Going to use off-white. Yes. Even though sugar technically is just literally white. We're going to use white. Good. Good. This what's up with this? Oh, it's always sugar block. Yeah, no shit,
all
bro.
the different blocks from vanilla right here, and basically see all of their block settings that are being used. And I can definitely tell you there's very interesting things over here, so definitely take a look at those as well. But that is our block basically registered right now. Of course, the next step would be, how do we add them to a creative mode tab? Well, there's several different ways. We can of course go back over here to our modify entries right here and add them to the ingredients. I don't know about that. Let's actually do this in the register block, right? And what we can do is literally the same thing that we've done before, because adding it to the ingredients, that doesn't quite jive with me. I think that we want to do item group events dot modify entries event. I'm going to say item groups dot, and this time I actually wanted to use the building blocks over here, so I'm going to choose that.
There are other blocks. No, this one is not off. Heh. These are absolutely crazy names. Wait. Can I just grab this? Yeah, look at this, guys. Look at this. Those are some crazy names, bro. Absolutely crazy names. Is this the only one you did not rename? In the top right. That is pretty crazy though. You did? Okay. Then I'm just stupid, I guess. Absolutely crazy names. Yeah, no. It's just added an I. Okay. Yeah, I thought after you said it, I thought something was off, but I wasn't quite sure what it is. This is probably... This is neither functional. What group is sand in? Also, sand is a gravity block. Isn't sand... Doesn't sand need to be a gravity block somewhere? Oh, new sand block. Oh, hell no. Do I need to open a sand block? Okay, interesting. Whoa. This is diabolical. Can I copy this file? Or can I just create a new sand block? block, sand, register, sand. New sand block, new color code. Wait, it's new color code settings. And then it is a comma, extract block settings, 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 and even more settings.
Press the tab key to autocomplete it. We're going to call the register method and then
No. Yeah. What the hell? Hmm. Good. Finally, this is done. Great.
that we have to do. Previously, for our
this setting. Little red. Why is settings red though? What if I just copy the register? This is a bit difficult. Huh? It works? Oh, that's crazy. What is, wait. What is a color code? Huh? I don't get it. Hmm. This is really weird. Because I don't get it. Is it a hex color though? 6 numbers. This is 8 numbers. Yeah, no, this is getting a bit out of hand. Yeah, it died. I don't know why it did. Really weird. Oh my god, this is decimal format. Right, so I found it out. It is decimal colors and not hexadecimals and not anything else. It is pretty much just the hexadecimal, just so hex, how you often call it, it's just without the letters, it's all numbers. Which, for some weird ass reason, has 8 digits. Which is so much shorter than RGB's potentially only 3 digits. Ah, no, it literally every... Oh, okay, every color is assigned a number. That is why there's so many numbers. Because obviously there's 16 million colors. And white is the biggest color, apparently. Very interesting. Ah, that makes sense. It just goes until F. I think it only goes until... Yeah, the 16 million. Oh my god. The RGB system could have just been used there, bro. It wouldn't have taken much more space, brothers. But if not. So, as for placeholder, I'm just going to use like probably white. I don't actually know. Actually, I could open sugar just to get the right color code. We're going to do diodes. So I'm going to open... No. I'm going to go there where the sugar item is. I'm going to open this with paint.net. Then I can grab the right color, input it in here, and then get the right particle color. It is crazy. Crazy what I'm doing here. Because I figure it's not... Yeah, it's not perfectly white, probably. If this is white... Oh my god, it is white. Sugar is perfectly white. Obviously, this looks pretty weird on stream because it's recording this in HDR. So the entire sugar looks white, except for this outline. Everything looks white, but this is actually darker. However, this here is white. But I don't know if I want to use that brightest part, if I want to use slightly darker particles. I'm going to use slightly darker particles. Obviously, the color code is EA, EA, EA. Let's actually keep this open. it is EA, which is just gray. Wowee. However, I still do not get why there is a minus, and if the color that was there before, if we input that into my hex color calculator type of thing, we get actually the right color. Good. Nice. Get to see the color. Control Y. Yeah, EA. Except it just loops. Good. Now let me see. Back to this. Apparently.
Items, we only had item model JSON file. So one JSON file and one line in the EN_US JSON file for the translation. That was all we needed for the items. For blocks, however, it's going to be a little bit more complicated.
Oh no.
For this, I'm going to create the folder structure first, and then we'll actually populate all of this with everything we need. So in assets tutorial mod, we're going to right click new directory. Called block states. Very important that this is written correctly. Block states.
No.
Then we'll go to the models directory and create a
yes. New directory. Block states.
new directory called block, and then inside of the textures directory, we want to create a new directory called block as well.
Mi bombo.
We're going to start at the very top over here with the block states JSON file. So the block states JSON file is going to be sort of determining how this particular block looks like, or what model it refers to inside of the world when you place it down. So in this block states folder, we're going to right click new file called the pink_garnet_block.json, noting that the name right here has to match the name that we're giving it right here. Very important. And then of course a .json file ending. I'm going to type out the contents of this. This is of course also going to be available to you down below, and then I'll explain after I have done so. So here we need a model. That is a
What is he doing? Good.
tutorial mod :block / pink_garnet_block. There we go. That is the whole entire block states JSON file for a basic block that doesn't have any sort of changes. So for example, what could those changes be? Well, let's think about a crop block, right? Let's think about wheat, right? Wheat has an age property because of course it grows over time. So we're basically, when we are in wheat, we refer to a different model depending on the age property. In our case, we have a simple block that doesn't have any variants. Therefore, we have an empty variant right here, and we are only pointing to one model. Right, and what is this model? Well, this model is once again under tutorial mod, right? Under the models over here in the block folder, and it's going to be called pink_garnet_block.json. So that is the block model JSON file that this refers to, and we're going to create that. So in the models block folder, right, click new file, pink_garnet_block.json. There we go. And the contents of this are going to be eerily similar to something we have seen before, because, well, I'm going to once again just start typing and then explain afterwards. So we're going to have a parent over here with Minecraft :block /cube_all, And then we're going to have a texture. So this is a textures object with all, and this all is going to be tutorial mod colon.
Okay, chill your balls again. Damn. Does it also have crazy names?
block/pink_garnet_block. And what you'll find is that this looks incredibly similar to the item model JSON file. And you would be absolutely correct. I mean, look at them, right, side by side. They are almost the exact same, right? The differences are basically the parent and then also the textures, right? So just a little bit of a difference here, but the general idea is that the block model JSON.
Oh my god, this is great. Cheeseburger. Oh, these are crazy. Is top right called Itachi? Yeah, that is absolutely crazy.
File once again determines, okay, how does this particular block look like, right? What are the textures like? How can I display them? And in this case, we're going to say, hey, this is going to be a cube all, meaning that all of the sides, all of the 6 sides have the same texture. And we define this right here, once again, right via tutorial mod, textures over here, textures in the block folder, and it's going to look for the pink_garnet_block PNG. This one, of course, will be available to you as well. We're going to copy this over, pink_garnet_block PNG, and that is what it refers to, and that's pretty cool. Now, if we were to jump into the game right now, what would happen is that our block would have a texture inside of the world, but it wouldn't have a texture inside of the inventory, and it also wouldn't have a name, a proper name. So, first of all, the item model JSON file. Because what happens when you have a block, right? We registered the block right here, but we also registered an item. And for every item, you need an item model JSON file. So for this, inside of the models item folder, we're going to right-click new file called the pink_garnet_block.json again. However, this one, luckily, is really simple. This one simply has a parent, and that parent points to tutorial mod :block/pink_garnet_block. Because this, in this case, simply points back to the block model JSON file that we've defined right here, and it's going to display that particular block model JSON file in the normal 3D way that you're used to when you're looking at blocks inside of.
What happened here? There we go.
The inventory. That's literally it, and that is why this is actually probably the easiest JSON file to basically understand. And then lastly, we want the translation. That one is also quite simple. We're now dealing with a block So now we have tutorial mod block.tutorialmod.raw underscore pink underscore, or not raw, actually just pink garnet block. There you go. That is going to be it. And that is going to be a block of pink garnet. Pretty freaking awesome. And now we actually have everything that we need for our custom block. You need a block states JSON file to determine what type of model it takes on inside of the world. You need that particular model that it points to, which basically determines how the 3D model looks like, as well as where the textures are placed and what textures are being placed. And then lastly, you need the item model JSON file so that it is also looking, well, so that it also knows infinitely more easy, or compared to adding.
Okay, so I can basically close this, and this is going to be the last thing I'm doing today. I will open this. Now this is currently, I will also need to open assets Minecraft textures block and search for sand. So there should be a sand block. Perfect. Open that. Now also I will create a textures, just random, copy that, and that will be our sugar block PNG. Now open that as well. So this is currently our sand, right? Now sand has probably too many different colors. However, I can just, no, not bright, saturation down. Now I've created, well, you gotta just love it when the stream shows literally just white. However, I do not want this. I want it to have the, it does look bluish. Yes, it is bluish. This is white, gray, and then this is getting bluish. Good. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a fifth relatively dark one. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it could work. If you use very low, like 0% tolerance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a bit too many different sand colors. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different colors in sand. Well, there is obviously not 7 different colors in sugar. So we take white and we grab all the whitest ones, we make them white. Then we grab the second brightest color, and technically we can just do that. The second brightest color is probably going to be the one that there is this many of. However, I want this to be unanti-aliased and 0% tolerance. Then the third color probably going to be this one actually. And then this relatively dark, slightly dark fourth color, going to be that. Actually, no, I'm going to make it this. Actually, then there isn't that many more colors. Yeah, I don't think we can go this dark. Don't think we can go that dark. I think we're using the second darkest color as the darkest color. Then again, try to find the difference between these two. This is 4, well this has 8. 4 goes to 8. Well, 87 goes to 79. There's an 8 difference and a 4 difference. So we're going right in the middle to 6 and 83. 6 and 83 should be good. So that would be the perfect in-between. Go here. And now what I have here is the second brightest color. Which would be between 0 and 91. It's going to be 96. And that is our sugar block. Which is basically just glorified grayed out sand block. With a whole lot of texture. I have no idea if this is going to look any good in game. Otherwise, there is always the possibility to turn up brightness and just make it less saturated or more saturated. No, go up with brightness and saturation. However, I'll try this and we'll see how this looks. Now I've edited sand, and that is not what we needed to do. I'm going to not save sand, and I'm going to save the sugar block. Good. So if I run this, we should have a sugar block. If not, I'm going to give up, and if yes, I'm also going to give up. So this is a win-win situation, and I'm going to see everyone next week. After this, I've tried this out. What? Block ID not set. Oh yeah, I did not set a block ID. Oh, I really did. Okay, I'm going to fix this real quick. Because there is that is a relatively easy fix. Blocks of Java. It just needs ID sand. Wait, but then can I even do that? What? Oh, Hannah. Okay, so I need to make this a lot more complicated then. It is string name block. Register. No, it's not working. What else does it need? How do I did it? New, Huh? How did he initialize this shit? Am I too dumb? Ah. Eh? What the frick do you want?
Whoa.
What?
That?
An
I just built a bombing app in
advertisement
Base 44.
with my
Guys,
ad blocker?
I just built an app.
Impossible. Let's add custom blocks to Minecraft. 121 Minecraft modding courses available down below. With over 11 hours of the curly brackets, you can then
New block, extract, bro, settings, create. Good. New block. Oh, it's just register block. No. Oh. Register block. Ah, finally. Now it will work, right? I just want to see a block. Hey, it's starting, guys. But we'll have to see if I can make this a sand. Block ID not set. Block ID not set. Block ID not set, guys. In the mod items. Does it also need this line? What does it need?
simply say entries.add and then modblocks.pinkgarnetblock. There you go. And now the pink garnet block is also being added to the building blocks. This once again is how to add the blocks to a already existing vanilla item group. The custom item groups, well,
So it has to be item. Does it? But it won't run now again, will it? I'm sure it won't. Block ID not set. Yeah, we'll look into that later. So next time. So just going to commit this. All changes. Trigger block. Not working. To commit push. And yeet. And push. Good. And thus yeet and yeet. And I will say goodbye for today. So I should really go. So I'm gonna skedaddle. Thanks everyone for having been here. It was a great stream. However, of course it doesn't work when I try something slightly new. So goodbye guys. Oh ho ho.